This is Real Talk with Argy Jones. That's me. I watched Boyz in the Hood recently, and I want to know when it went far right. We're going to take a look at that today. You ever go back and watch a movie that you loved as a kid and realize that it didn't age? It just completely shifted political poles. Like one day you're hanging out at the Democratic convention, and the next it's got a manga hat on, grilling steaks. That's Boyz in the Hood for you. It used to be the poster child for the system is broken. Now it's out here handing out pamphlets titled, Maybe It's You. Back in the day, this movie was a lefty anthem. It was all about systemic racism, gentrification, and the way cops treated people like they were disposable. It was like a TED Talk on oppression before TED Talks were a thing. But then Furious Styles shows up, absolute legend, by the way, and suddenly you're sitting through an unplanned Jordan Peterson seminar. He's out there saying, no excuses, stay in school, don't get girls pregnant, and maybe learn a little about real estate while you're at it. Whoa, like, hold on, Furious. Are you secretly running a personal responsibility workshop on weekends? Imagine pitching this movie today. So there's this dad, right? He's breaking down systemic racism while also lecturing his kids about accountability and discipline. You know damn well the pitch meeting would get cancelled. It would get cancelled immediately. Halfway through, they're going to be getting triggered. Really, it's you just got to watch it. You won't believe it. Furious was like the original tough love guru. He wasn't handing out safe spaces. Nah, his safe space was telling Trey, go rake those leaves and stop whining about life. Can you imagine how Gen Z would react to that? They'd cancel him for toxic positivity before he'd even finished his speech. And Doughboy, he'd get crucified for glorifying street violence, while Trey would be labeled a walking, talking bundle of fragile masculinity because he dared to tell his girlfriend, hey, maybe don't walk home alone. Oh, and don't forget Ricky. God bless Ricky. Trying to make something of himself. But the Hood said, nah, not today. That scene hits hard because it's real. It's saying, yeah, the system is rigged, but if you stay in the game too long, it is going to eat you alive. And that's where this movie gets real and where it loses today's crowd, because we've hit this weird point in society where it's easier to blame everything on the system than admit that you've got choices. Yeah, the deck is stacked against you. Nobody's arguing that. But what's the alternative? Sit there and fold or play the hand you dealt. The modern mindset is like, you failed, well, it's probably capitalism's fault, or maybe the patriarchy, or maybe you didn't manifest hard enough. Meanwhile, good old Furious would have been like, nah, it's because you spent 3 hours playing Mortal Kombat instead of doing your homework. Here's the thing. Boyz in the Hood wasn't about politics. It was about reality. It didn't sit on some ideological high horse pointing fingers. It said, yeah, life sucks out here, but you still have to try. That's why it resonates so hard. Furious wasn't preaching right-wing bootstrap nonsense. He was preaching survival. It's like he knew the system was not going to save anyone. And he told Trey, you've got to save yourself. And that is the tragedy of Ricky's death. He did everything right. Good grades, football scholarship, and it didn't matter. But instead of sugarcoating it, the movie's like, yep, this is the world we live in. Now, what are you going to do about it? But nah, today's crowd would reject all of that. They'd slap a label on it before opening credits even rolled. Oh, this is just a conservative morality tale in disguise. Really? So what's next? We're going to rebrand the Lion King as a fascist dictator propaganda machine. Oh, Simba restored the monarchy and uphold the traditional lion hierarchy, so cancel it. And never mind that, what about Rocky? Problematic? It encourages toxic masculinity and glorifies physical violence. Heaven forbid a guy from Philly, work hard, get punched in the face and succeed. We can't have that. It's too uplifting. Look, back to the hood. If Boys in the Hood feels far right in 2024, maybe the problem isn't the movie. Maybe it's us. Somewhere along the way, we forgot that being honest about struggle doesn't mean you're picking sides. It means you're telling the truth. Furious Styles didn't care about your politics. He cared about your survival. And if you can't handle that, maybe you're the one who needs a Furious Styles speech. Or better yet, Doughboy, handle it. You won't like, you will not like Doughboy's delivery. But anyway, you get the message. You get the message. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this take on Boys in the Hood. Please like, subscribe, comment. I'll catch you around. Cheers.